JackBolt Ray, JackBolt Ray, JackBolt Radio.
Hi.
That was too fucking close to the real thing.
Yeah,
That was
I know.
Really good.
Felt like I just heard a ghost.
Sorry, Travis. Didn't mean to cut you off. That was ghastly.
No, I guess we've got to jump straight into it, and so I can get our memorial service started. Scott, take it away.
JackBolt Radio presents a Travis Brown production. Super Speedway in memoriam.
After only half of a season, 15, 14, 13, what were we in?
16.
16.
P5. Keep going.
We have lost our guider, our leader, our beacon of hope on Friday nights, Mr. Flag. We're looking to fill a void on our Friday nights. No more British women screaming over a league administrator or a chubby man. No more people being called dipshits. No more driving around in a single file line for 2 hours at a time. No more egos over a video game. Is this a world we want to live in, folks? I ask you, is it time that we take a long look in the mirror and figure out what the fuck we're doing with our lives? We were JackBolt-less for almost a month. We're flagless for almost 3 weeks. We're Super Speedway Cupless. And damn it, I'm pissed off. I don't know what I'm feeling. So I guess we can jump into what we've been doing lately. Corey had an interesting night.
Oh, I can tell you what we've been doing lately. We've been joining random
Get you a
iRacing
snack.
hosted
This is gonna
rooms.
be a good one.
Yeah, kick your feet up and yeah, sit back, crack open a cold
Grab
one.
your popcorn, download your Fortnite. We've been joining random hosted rooms, maybe a couple official. And truth be told, nobody can drive a super speedway like veterans of the Super Speedway Cup.
That's a fact. I would lock that in.
You either have to hold your line in between the dotted lines at Talladega, and let's just analyze that. That's 10 feet in between each car, or you're not racing the correct way. Or you're racing side sucking and you get booted because people can't hold their line. So yeah, it's been a struggle, to say the least. We had a group of guys that could run side by side suck, get pissed off at each other, but now we're resorted to running other people in the iRacing community that have no clue how to run a super.
Did you
speedway.
prepare this speech?
No,
Okay.
this is off the top.
This is from the heart.
It really is.
We've resorted to spending our Friday nights to running with people that host rooms that have no clue how to run a Super Speedway Cup league, or how not to run a whole Super Speedway race, to say the least. So, I'm pretty sure I've been booted from every race I've ever joined on a Friday night.
Well, are we going to address what happened an hour ago? Would you like to tell your side of the story, Corey?
Oh, we side-sucked some guys. We pushed Scott Warren to the lead. We were kicked because somebody didn't like me running close to their door.
Steve-O 1126.
I don't even remember his name. I'll never join his stream again.
I've got it pulled back up here. So he was hosting a race. It was B cars at Daytona, fixed setup Daytona. So it was like a full field. Me and Corey, we started in the back. We were top 5 within lap 2.
We were top 5 in one lap.
One lap and like
we started like 17th and 19th.
We were
top 5 in one lap.
We didn't really pull any bad moves or anything either. It's just like everybody got out of the way.
We went high, we pushed.
Yeah.
We got to the front.
Well, the dude at the front, who I didn't know was the host at the time, but he was all over the track, and then his buddy was blinking, so like they were causing a lot of problems. And the dude who was the host, the Steve-O dude, he kept running up into the people and all sorts of shit. Well, after the caution comes out, because Scott wrecked, the 28 comes up and hits Corey under caution, so Corey hit him back and got kicked. Well, I didn't put it together, and I told the dude, I was like, hey, the 28 started that shit. He was running into the dude and then ran into him under caution. Well, Steve-O didn't like my input, so Steve-O blew up on me a couple more times, and we sorry, I'm kind of distracted now.
Natalie Decker, everyone.
No. So we had a conversation, and I never really got that mad until he brought like his buddies into it and shit, and I called them all pussies, and then he kicked me. Well, he was streaming on Twitch, and he had been advertising, so like I went into his little Twitch stream, and I talked to him, and some people from other places followed, and they came in too, and just told him, hey, that I'm a nice guy, you know, I'm a cool guy and all that. And the guy got more and more triggered, and then he wrecked his race car, and I don't know, it was a fun experience. But yeah, that summed up our Friday night, and it really showed the void we have now. Scott almost won the race, though. We forgot to mention, till some tomfoolery.
Yeah, I decided to hang into the room because, well, partly I felt responsible to sort of correct their perspectives. And because, I mean, it was so far out of touch from being like an actual good super speedway race with relatively stable cars and some dudes with I ratings and safety ratings that I'm sure they were polishing and very proud of. But yeah, to like purposely go to the backfield, dry to the front, take the lead, and run around these guys. Yeah, I definitely thought that it was partly my duty to represent the kicked erroneously in you and Corey, and just be like, listen, boys, this is how we roll here, and represent Cozy Stream, represent your stream, Travis. And
to be fair, Cozy had nothing to do with it.
No, Cozy had nothing to do with it. He got pulled into it.
Cozy was an innocent bystander, and Bitch Boys started roasting Cozy too for some reason. And the guy does not have a big like Twitch or anything. He's got 500 and something followers, which, you know, doesn't mean anything because he only had a few people watching till we showed up, and his views tripled or whatever. And he went and he said he didn't. First he was like saying that he didn't care about me as he was searching everything about me and looking at Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff. And he said that I had almost 400 followers and that I wasn't shit because he had 500 or something or I had 400 subs on YouTube and he has 500 followers on Twitch. So he was like, "Oh, you're not shit."
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was the whole point, was that it was bad racing. Even the best guys were garbage at holding their line or pulling a draft or anything like that. So it was just like, you know what, I'm no hot shit in SSC, and I appreciated being in that series for as long as it lasted. ... But you know, to go in that room and to see a guy swinging his dick around like that and just ejecting guys. I think we started with 30 plus cars, and by the time the last 30 laps rolled around, we were down to like 11, 12 cars. There were 7 cars coming to the checkered, I believe, and it was 99% just him just ejecting dudes because they held lines like he did, which were ridiculous and erratic and just awful. So anyway, long story, boring. I'm pretty sure I got targeted.
You think?
I was doing some cross promoting on behalf of our friends at Wind Valley 8820 and Travis Brown streaming, and I think he was confused by that because I was leading the race under caution, and I was taking that opportunity to promote my good friends here in the room at JBR. And while I did get muted, I didn't get booted.
You did get booted after the
I got
race.
muted, but I didn't get booted.
You got booted after the race, though.
Oh yeah, well yeah, right after he was like, "You're blacklisted."
Yeah.
Then, well, I think that's racist,
And
and then he booted me. But actually, you know what? I wanted to keep that drama going, so I actually messaged him after the race.
Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah, saying blacklisted. What did I do?
Did you tell him to pull up? I wanted to tell him to pull up.
Pull up, homie.
We're in the same club.
You were blacklisted for winning the race.
I hear you're an ATL. Why don't you pull up?
Yeah.
My friend Travis has a couple whispers that you need to.
No, we can go down there to the varsity and get hot dogs. I'm sure he knows a thing or two about them. But
chugging hot dogs at the varsity? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
He probably does. Naked Kansas man arrested for trying to have sex with a car. Scott sent me this story last night. This is actually a big reason why this is happening tonight, because Scott has had JBR withdrawals for a while. He
got the JBR shakes.
Yeah, he starts drinking on Fridays, expecting a JBR, and then it doesn't happen. So he looks foolish.
I'm there with you.
So I don't know. A quote from Lieutenant Scott Powell of the Newton, Kansas Police Department: "We were called to the 1200 block of East Broadway to a report of a naked male underneath a car. He was attempting to stick his penis into the tailpipe of the vehicle."
Yeah.
The new 24-year-old man would not respond to officers' commands to quit trying to copulate with the car, so officers used a taser to subdue him. He was high on some sort of drug, Powell told the Topeka Capital Journal. Officers were there, and he continued to try to have sex with the tailpipe of the car and would not listen to commands or anything.
Aren't people into that, though?
I've never seen people fucking cars on...
I'm pretty sure that was on My Strange Addictions.
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure. I saw it somewhere. It was on something. Yeah.
Well,
so if he got arrested for that, isn't that racist?
I don't know about racism, but it's some sort of ism. I mean, hell, our Rod Flag, may he possibly rest in peace wherever he is, he had sex with a speaker.
Cozy, I got it for you. It's called mechanophilia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
you can't feel me?
No. Mechanophilia or mechaphilia. It's a paraphilia involving sexual attraction to machines such as bicycles, motor vehicles, helicopters.
How do you have sex with a bicycle? I guess you could. That's where pegging came from.
Helicopters, though, man. What?
How do you have
stick
sex?
shit in there in the spokes?
Wait.
Here's where it goes sideways.
Ford Mustang owner? Because that would explain a lot.
Yeah, what was the vehicle? I think that's actually important.
Yeah, it depends on how it looked. Is he into
Probably a
big
Ford
vehicles?
Mustang.
What? Oh, is it is it viewed as pedophilia if he had sex with a smart car or something? Or like if you had sex with like a golf cart, is like that the equivalent of being a pedophile if you're into having sex with cars?
I think it still falls into mechanophilia, but if you're talking about, I don't know, equating the size or apparent acumen of a car being a car, then maybe you're talking about, perhaps cars that have educational disabilities or learning disabilities.
So if the Pope had sex with a car, would he have sex with like a 2018 model or a 2000 model?
Well, I think
2018 for sure.
Because it's that plexiglass situation, right? I think it's like a glass dildo sort of thing. So the Pope is going at a glass dildo.
You lost me.
Well, the Pope mobile. It's a PVC encased thing where he stands on the back of a vehicle.
Oh.
Yeah.
The man had a rather high 0.35 blood alcohol level.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, that's in JackBolt yes territory right there.
It sure is.
Also saw it appeared to be a head injury from before they arrived at the scene.
Hmm.
So he might have hit his head and then was like, you know what, I want to have sex with the car.
He missed his dick in the tailpipe and he just went head up or over.
Well, there might have been some foreplay involved or something.
Yeah, smack me around, it'll be fun.
Well, other news. Did y'all hear about the superintendent in New Jersey who was he was taking
took a shit.
Yeah.
I heard that
Police
on the
in
radio today.
Holmdel, New Jersey, say they've solved the mystery of who was defecating daily on the high school track and football field. Surveillance caught the superintendent of a neighboring district. Okay, so this was like a war going on. Like,
Yep. Territory.
Thomas Tremaglini, 42, was taking a shit on the field. He was caught in the act while he was running on the Holmdel High School track early Monday morning. According to NJ.com, the school staff had found human feces in the area daily, prompting them to begin monitoring it to identify the perpetrator.
The perpetrator?
I haven't gotten the urge before to take a shit in places that aren't acceptable to do so. Like, I feel like there'd be a thrill that came along with it, but I don't think I would do it in the same place daily.
I've done it out of necessity.
I've never had to do that, but I
Like,
wanted
full
to.
on, you've never had to pull the car over and it's time. It's happening right now.
I
Not even
usually
one
find
story.
a toilet. Nah, but like I've wanted to. That's the thing. Like I've wanted to like just walk outside and take a shit in the yard, but I've never done it.
In your yard or someone
Yeah,
else's?
my yard, someone else's. You know, I don't get a thrill. Like I wouldn't shit in a bag and throw it on a porch or anything. Like I just want to shit somewhere that's not a toilet.
Or a rival high school's yard.
Well, that's what this guy did.
That's what I'm
See,
saying.
I shit in
would-
my
I would
pants not too
assume-
long ago, if that counts.
I would assume it had a lot to do with money, and that one school system earned that money and the other one didn't. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna shit on your football field.
He'll
He was
show
like
them.
trying to ruin the turf 6 square inches at a
Yeah.
time.
I want to
they-
know the shit expert they had out there who was able to be like, oh, those are human feces. I know for sure. Because like dog shit looks like human shit in a way.
Isn't there a distinctive?
Not really.
Isn't there a
Really?
distinctive like nose to human feces?
I don't know, like shit.
Oh, this smells like Taco Bell. That's Corey Henry shit.
Maybe there were like pieces of corn in it or something.
Jesus.
Oh, speaking of which, earlier I was trying to ask Corey if he watched pornography, and I said, "Do you watch corn, Pori?" So whatever that means.
Yeah, we frequent Cornhub pretty often.
You ever been to Cornhub? Cornhub is hilarious. Scott, have you ever been? You'll appreciate it.
I'm going right now. Actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
that has to be.
Cornhub.com, I think.
That has to be a thing.
No, it's not. It's not Cornhub.com. It took me to Domain Shop.
No, Cornhub.com was like an April Fool's joke on Pornhub.com.
No,
Wait,
That's
is
true.
it still a thing?
oh
It's
yeah.
not still a thing, no. But I'm sure
man.
the videos still exist.
What's the video? I never saw. Here's Cornhub.blogspot.
Like, it's pretty much ASMR with women eating corn.
We've
Yeah,
got-
that year of April Fool's jokes with Pornhub was a lot funnier than the one where it said like it was going to share out all your video history on everything.
Yeah, that got my heart racing. Popped corn, HD corn, black corn,
I'm seeing
mature
black corn right now.
corn, cartoon corn, corn
Very
toys,
intimidated.
interracial corn. That's it.
How does that work?
I don't know, but if you came to see some shucking, this is the place.
Interracial corn is when you have peaches and cream corn going against black corn.
Did they have same-sex corn?
I don't think so.
Isn't corn
What the hell?
asexual? I think corn is asexual.
The corn community, it's a cultural thing. They're not as accepting of those types. We at JackBolt accept homos, but Corn Hub does not.
I don't know. I like going through corn mazes and Halloween. Those
been
are
a
pretty
while since I've done that.
exhilarating.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. That's the only time corn excites me, I guess.
I've never like been one to eat corn.
You ever have some good corn on Thanksgiving?
Nah, I don't like corn.
Really?
Nah, corn.
You don't like cream corn?
Nah, corn's not for me.
Corn on the
In
cob
anything?
with the
That
butter?
doesn't
all?
make any sense at all.
Well, like I think my mom puts it in chili, maybe.
I don't think I've ever heard of a person who didn't like corn.
Yeah, what
Well-
about tortilla shells or tacos?
Wait, tortillas? That's
There's
that's
always
corn?
Flour.
They
There's
can be
always
flour, but they can also be corn.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
it's more or
flour.
less like taco shells. That's
Taco shell's corn, man.
You
Have
sure?
you ever had
Doritos?
Sun Chips?
Doritos?
Well, I like stuff with corn in it,
There you go.
but I can't eat corn just right there, like a
you
damn
get some good
redneck.
buttery corn.
I'm not that redneck. Just because I'm from Georgia don't mean I walk around eating corn.
We have an entire festival around here called Corn Fest
Are we
Nice little
still
side
going to
piece.
Hobo Fest? Aren't we all supposed to
in
go to
Britt, Iowa.
that? Yeah.
I don't know.
Iowa. Hell.
Rod
Think
was
of
my
me up.
ride.
I mean,
Oh, it
is
was?
everything free?
Well, I mean, imagine it's a hobo festival.
Yeah.
Don't they just have hobos that mud wrestle or something? Here we go.
You rail ride. You get out
Mud
there, you
wrestle.
rail ride.
That sounds so horrible.
The video.
Call me a bum, I get mad. If I was out on the railroad tracks and there wasn't nobody looking, ain't no telling what might happen. But if I'm in town and somebody calls me a bum, I had to tell them, no, sir, I'm not a bum, I'm a hobo. Matter of fact, do you have any work that I could do for you, sir?
I like how he says hobo.
Me too.
Hobo.
Someday we're gonna have to get together and have a watch party of the whole documentary.
Welcome you guys to come
They
to
make
our
like
city for the
garbage
convention.
soup.
Yeah, the pizza soup. Oh my god.
That was disgusting.
Oh my god, yeah. They dumpster dive for discarded pizzas and they boil the discarded pizzas for like a half hour. They
Ooh,
throw 'em-
that's
yeah.
oh, that's where I draw the line.
Well, I hear it goes good with crack, so I'm not gonna knock it till I try it.
How are they going to afford that?
Well, crack is a hobo drug, ain't it?
Well, they can't afford it. It's not.
Yeah, it is. Don't they just suck dick for it?
Oh.
Well, that's working technically.
Yeah,
They're,
like
not, they're not bums. They're tramps.
yeah, exactly. No,
They're
well, no.
Working for their money.
What are the definitions? I don't remember it again.
Oh,
But
we
that guy, you're not a bum. He's
Check
a
out
hobo.
episode 1.
I listened to how many episodes? Would this be episode 6
I think it's 5.
or season 2, episode 1?
You're right.
Whatever the last
Post-Rockstar.
episode was, I listened to it the other day, and it brought back memories. And then I listened to the one where we had it was Corey's first time on there, and
Was
he
it
was
less forgiving?
and it wasn't that time. That was the next time, I think, because Corey was not supposed to be a reoccurring guest. He just got so drunk that we couldn't get rid of him every Friday, and eventually we grew to like
That
him.
still exists.
So we're like, after a while, we're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool, so we'll keep him around. But there were a lot of people that would line up in TeamSpeak, and then we'd have to break some hearts. And I think we had some people go start their own podcast over us. And
Yeah, but to be fair, those guys had no reason to be on the podcast.
yeah, those poor guys. I still feel bad about that because, like, I didn't want to say no to anybody, but there were some guys that just were not JackBolt material.
I love that. I love that the first official guest was David Warren, and he's raced one race in Super Speedway Cup.
Who the hell is David Warren? He was on
Yeah.
JackBolt Radio?
Dude,
He don't even know.
Damn. See, well, no, he was the one who wouldn't talk, right? We were like, "Do you want to be on there?" And he was like, "Yeah." And Rod was like, "Yeah, way to make the new guy feel at home." And like,
Yeah.
he said like 5 words.
it was the only race he raced in SSC.
Well, that's all that matters. That was the goal of everybody who raced. Get on
My
JackBolt.
favorite, my
What was
favorite
his nickname?
memory was
He had a
Scott
nickname,
being like,
too.
Corey Henry, ladies and gentlemen. He's our
Yeah.
guest.
Number
Guest
12,
appearance
Corey
on
Henry,
JackBolt
ladies.
Radio.
I'm trying to think. He did have a nick. Wasn't it like Slumpy or Humpy or Dumpy or Humpty
was,
Dumpty or something?
It was something really awkward, for sure.
Like, who the hell is this guy?
What? Oh my god, man, that's
Feel like
gonna
it was-
bug me.
Wasn't it Hobo or something?
No,
Oh,
wait,
boy.
was it? It was. It was David Hobo Warren,
Yeah, man.
and that's what got us started on the hobo thing.
Well, it got us back on the hobo thing.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
like cat rape happening outside of my window.
really.
Yeah, there's like several cats that are screaming out.
Do you need to attend to that?
I would bring the microphone if it would reach that far, but
Take
Man,
a
if
cup
I
of
had
hot
a nickel
water.
for every time I had a cat rape outside of my
so
house.
much cat rape outside of this window.
There's like 12, 15 stray cats out where I'm at. It's
Trying to
unreal.
Think.
I live
Who-
near a lot of dumpsters.
They just keep on breeding and they just keep on raping. It's unreal.
raping
Who
him.
was the damn? Who all did we have as guests besides Corey? Because Corey wouldn't leave.
I didn't leave. I was like, fuck you guys. Well, technically, I didn't leave.
Rodney
I was
came
just
on
always so drunk to where I was still on TeamSpeak and like, oh, Corey's still on TeamSpeak. Let's pull him up. And I'm like, I'm on tonight? All right.
Corey, there was Rodney, there was Jake Champion after he screwed the end of that race up.
The original JBR court.
Yeah, and he was so pissy by the start of that thing, and by the end of it, everybody was cool with him. So that was good. We solved that problem.
Yeah, he almost didn't even come on. He wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, and then we had the
We had
infamous.
Spencer Preed on one time.
No, he was reoccurring. He just didn't want to do it tonight.
Oh,
for
yeah,
whatever
right.
reason.
This is Spencer.
He was actually the original co-host type deal.
That's the joke. Where's Spencer? God damn it!
Trying
Come
to think,
back.
Who else did we have?
I saw him tonight in a Cadillac CTS at a race that I lasted through the first turn on.
Yeah.
That was fun.
He had too much cake.
Shit. Who else did we have? I know we had somebody else, didn't we?
He had Rodney.
Well, yeah, I said Rodney. We had the infamous B car JackBolt court where Corey went on his 10-minute rant of him just repeating himself that the cup car was less forgiving.
Damn it, the cup car is where we should be every Friday night. It's less forgiving.
And then we put up a poll, and the majority of the league voted for the B car, and that's where the demise of the league started.
Yeah, but to be honest, the majority of the vote never ran Super Speedway Cup.
Yeah. I mean, we still ran the cup car, so...
Yeah.
And that pissed people. It divided the league in a way that should have
I don't
never
think
happened.
that divided the league. I think it was more of...
That was the excuse everybody used when they pointed to that.
I mean, it was just, I don't know.
It was a ticking time
Speedways
bomb.
on iRacing in general, like even that hosted room we ran tonight, the outside line couldn't really move unless you're working hard at it. And if you didn't have the help, you weren't going to the front. And I don't know. It's a hard subject to talk on because we're such big fans of super speedway racing.
Yeah.
And I've been around for 8 years on iRacing now. I've been through the original years of where it was bottom feed. Then we got the tandems, and a lot of people are still a fan of the tandem racing. I don't know if you guys got to experience it, but tandem racing on iRacing was
the
legit.
shit.
That was the closest to real life racing on the TV on Sunday evenings as you could get.
That was fun.
Tandem
I
racing.
loved it. It got a lot of shit because people didn't like watching it, but I really enjoyed that. I felt like that brought a little more skill into it, even because you had to find your friend and y'all had to time. Like switching was an art. Like you had to do it perfect if you wanted to win.
Yeah,
I killed Mark Arthur doing that once.
I remember that race. me and Borges, remember Cozy? Me and Borges had that shit down for a while. We were pretty good at it.
No, I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Well, me and Borges had that shit down for a while. Trying to think. There were a few other people that had it down because I remember people used to host shit every night, and like the same people would be in there. But that was a fun period of time.
And then like I don't know what happened. They had it to where it was. They went back to pack racing. It was 3x3x3, and then I don't know. They're trying to be too much like NASCAR, and if I'm sure a lot of people that are listening to the JackBolt radio right now, they watched last weekend's race.
Ugh.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was scary bad. Holy God.
That was more of a
There's
handling issue,
nowhere
though.
to go. Well, not
So,
really. To be honest, it's the Aero in this current generation of car for the Cup Series is.
They are too wide, I think. I feel like they're too wide of a car.
It's not just that, but like they've tried for 5 years now to fix this car for super speedway racing, and it's not happened. The last time we've actually had a pack race was the race where Tony Stewart flipped over top of everybody at Talladega.
Yeah, that is true.
And
They were
ever
what,
since
4
then,
wide
everyone,
for those laps?
everyone has wanted their own car, wanted a handling to come into a factor, And I mean, it has, but it's gotten so bad to where if you're out front, you're going to stay in front. Unless you have 10 enemies that are lined up behind you, you're going to stay up front and you're not going to lose it.
Yeah, the crazy thing about last weekend at Dago was the fact that the setup seemed to be having this. What's
What
happening?
the hell happened there?
I've got PD in my lap. Sorry. Welcome to JackBolt, PD.
You have a Chewbacca?
Man, it really sounded like you were pushing out a turd and instead that vein was coming out your forehead.
Yeah. Man, I was in the bathroom stall last year. I had it on a recording. I whipped up the phone and recorded it. There was a man next to me, and the noises that were coming out of him, like he was, I was about to call 911. It sounded like he was breaking sweats and that he like was struggling with whatever. And like I was hearing a lot of splashing and sounds that should not be coming out of a human being.
What were you guys doing in the same stall? That's the
No,
point.
no. He was in the stall next to me.
Oh, you said he was next to me in the stall.
No, oh, well, he was in the stall next to me.
He was in the same stall next to you.
And no,
or he was in a different stall.
He was in a different stall.
Was beside you.
That was beside me, and I was listening on in horror. Like
silent horror.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god! So I like every American.
Need some help over there?
Yeah, rather than asking if they need help. Yeah, I mean, I was like, maybe if he could lay down and I could jump on his stomach a couple of times, we could speed up the process. But instead of helping the man, I recorded it, and I don't know what happened to that recording.
Oh, that's amazing! You should play it right now.
I don't have it.
Like, was it Talladega?
Well,
where was it?
It was at school.
Oh, it was at school.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say alcohol and concession hot dogs don't really.
No, I don't know. It was just a morning ship for the kid, and I still to this day I don't know who he was, but yeah, the poor guy was having trouble. I've got some weird stuff on recording from school. Like I pulled up one day. I was pulling into the parking lot. And I saw these two kids they're younger than me. I'm a senior, and they were probably, I don't know if they were freshmen or what, but they were kind of standing off in the parking lot, and I could tell that they were looking to settle their differences, but I didn't think that they would. Well, they kind of squared up and started like dancing, and one threw some punches that didn't connect, and they just kind of grabbed each other and started turning circles till one of them fell, and then the one who didn't fall dove to the ground and got on top of the dude and threw more punches that didn't connect, and they kind of wallered around for a minute, and the dude on the bottom picked the dude up, and the dude like flipped over onto his back, so the dude gave him a piggyback ride backwards until they collided with a Jeep, and then they rolled around some more punches that didn't connect were thrown, and some teachers come running out and they pulled them apart. And the only injury from the fight was a scraped knee from the piggyback ride incident, and they both limped off into school and got their punishments. But yeah, that was an interesting moment. Back when I went to private school, we had two kids from the band get into a fight over a girl who was in the band. I think they appreciated like the way she played her drums. Anyway.
So she had a good beat off.
Yes, she knew how to beat it. They met in the hallway to settle their differences, and it took probably 30 seconds of the fight for people to realize that they weren't hugging. Like people, I didn't get to see this one in person, but I know people that did, and everyone legitimately thought that they were hugging and not fighting. They just were like, they just grabbed each other and kind of shook back and forth.
Amazing. And
eventually they were broken up, and one of them was kicked out of the school for it. But yeah, I've seen some interesting shit in my indoctrination centers.
We need a new segment of JackBolt where we tell the craziest story that we've experienced at a NASCAR race, or any race in general.
Man, I don't. Matt Kenseth wrecking Joey Logano at Martinsville was pretty good.
No, I mean like spectators.
Oh. before
Some dude
the
ate shit
race.
at Martinsville this year.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. He tried to walk down.
That's what I'm saying. We need a segment to where we tell about the craziest people, like that dude at Richmond one time that climbed up on the damn catch fence to get a caution.
Me and Cozy
Like that
saw a
kinda
dude
thing.
eat shit like at Martinsville. He went down the stairs. He
He rumbled the place a little bit.
yeah, it was
gotta-
one of those where people went, "Oh."
You got to think. I've been to Bristol since '93, like every Cup race. I've got plenty of stories.
Oh, you
about
got to
that.
see Earnhardt turn Labonte in person.
Oh, I've seen him turn him twice.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him turn twice.
it only
Once
worked once though.
Yeah, once it worked, once it didn't.
Man, I saw a dude before Cozy started coming to Martinsville. It was actually the same race that Kenseth wrecked Logano. It had been raining that morning, and we were on. We were still sitting in turn one, but we sat in the first section instead of the second section, and we were the last row in the first section. So we had the little chain link fence still to our back, and like the row up above us, like there was a walkway, and the railings like waist high at best, so people just climb over it to get to their seats, and we did it. You know, everybody does it, and it had been raining, so it was kind of slick. Well, this group of people get there, and some of them go down the stairs and come around. Some of them climb over. Well, this one dude thought he was Billy Badass and thought he was just gonna hop over it with ease rather than taking his time, and his feet hit. They slipped out from under him, so his feet were to the sky. And he was kind of like, he was a right angle at that point, 90-degree angle. His feet to the sky and his body flat. And it was like slow motion at that point. And he hit flat on his back. And, I mean, the stands buckled when he hit. That sumbitch hit. Like, everybody heard it. And he hit, and when he hit, he stuck like a hair in a biscuit. And he just laid there and wallered around in pain and suffering there for a little bit. But I'm trying to think. I've seen some other people fall. Cozy has a story that gets me every time of some kid that like almost fell, or what was it, Cozy? The dude...
Oh my! Oh, that wasn't at a race though.
Well, I don't care. Tell it. I want to hear it.
No, there wasn't really much to it other than that we were walking up a Paris. Geez, this was the 8th grade maybe. Where there was like a whole line of us walking up some steps, and the one buddy in front of me, kind of known to be kind of a goofball. He did one of those things where he caught one of his feet like on the way up to, you know, going up the steps. He clipped it on the step. It was the last one, so we got to the flat part, and he started tripping and falling and tripping and falling and tripping and falling, all to the point where I'm sitting back with my buddy behind me, and we're looking at each other, and we start cracking up laughing, and then we look back, he's still tripping and falling, tripping and falling, tripping and falling, tripping and falling, and finally he kind of catches himself. It took him a good 35 seconds to finally get himself back on the ground. It was unbelievable how long it took him to figure that one out.
People falling. I don't know what's so funny about it, but there's just something like, there was a chick at a basketball game. She wore like high heels and a short skirt trying to get some dude's dick hard over or something. And she was at the top of the steps. And I don't know how many times she flipped by the time she got to the bottom. But like, I know people that were there for that one, and they told me it was a pretty good one. I know I've seen more people fall at NASCAR races. Trying to think.
You mean tell a good story?
Sure, let's hear it, Corey.
All right, so this is 2000. Little Junebug. It was his first year, rookie year, driving a Budweiser car. So a lot of people are. You still got your Earnhardt fans. You got some Junior fans, and you've got Jeff Gordon fans. Well, for anybody that's been to Bristol, if you sit on the back straightaway, there's a huge ass hill that you have to walk up to get to your seats.
Oh hell yeah!
Like it's like the back straightaway to get to the gates. It's up on a high elevation. It don't matter whether you're coming from turn 2 or if you're trying to go up turn 3. You're gonna have to go up a hill. Well, it was year 2000. I think Elliott Sadler won the race. It was either Elliott Sadler or Kurt Busch. They won the race. Big Dale turned Little Dale, and they all wrecked in turn 1. So, like, the majority of the fan favorites were all pretty much multiple laps down and whatnot. So, we're heading back to the car after the race at Bristol, and these two guys had the smartest idea ever. They were going to ride their plastic coolers down the huge hill down turn 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Try to get down to the main elevation and get to the car. Well, they sit down on their coolers, beer in hand, mind you. They get to racing, and there's kind of a turn.
Oh no!
They get about halfway down the hill, and it looks great. Like they've got it's the coolers with the handles on them, so they got the handles straddling the handles. Like, yeah. They get about halfway down. They both bit it at the exact same time. One spills his beer, and the other one miraculously hangs on to his beer and has like some kind of physics glitch, and he flips his beer to where you don't spill it at all. They roll, and I shit you not, at least 20 beers each come out of each cooler. So everybody's walking back to their car after the race. It's like a fucking zombie horde. Everybody rushes to get the beer down the hill. So you've got 5 to 10 guys rushing after beer, rolling down this huge ass hill. They fall too, trying to catch the beer. And I swear to God, if this wasn't year 2000, if it was 2018 and everybody had cell phones, it would have been a viral video of the year. You've got 2 guys racing down the hill on their coolers. They both bite the dust. Roll, beer goes flying out of the cooler, and all the spectators walking to their cars after the race, they go trying to catch the beers, be like, hell yeah, free beer. They go rolling down the hill.
Amazing.
It's got to be the craziest thing I've seen in a NASCAR race. That's why I wanted to tell it. Never have seen it before, never probably will see it again. At least 12 to 15 people eat it trying to get down the Bristol Hill, trying to catch beers because 2 guys decided to race their coolers down the hill. Greatest thing I've ever seen. Never will forget it.
Well, have y'all seen that video of that escalator that went out of control? Like, it happened a few months ago, and it sped up to the point where it was throwing people off of it, and there was just a pile of people that got bigger and bigger at the bottom.
Oh, amazing.
It was that was
I've
pretty
seen that.
Are you talking about the ski lift?
No, well, that was funny too. That was
Oh
really
God,
funny.
somebody died in that, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Well,
Like it slung them up like into the motor.
No. Really?
Oh no.
Oops.
Well, it was funny aside from that. I got talked in at the fair one time into going through one of those haunted trailer things. Or it might have been the fun house with the weird mirrors. Either way, I didn't know that you had to go down a slide at the end of it. And I weighed more then than I do now, and I'm not small by any means now. So I go through it, and it was pretty stupid. I don't know why I went through it, but I get to the slide, and I'm like, oh, I have to go down this. So I go, and I don't know, I guess I turned the wrong way at the wrong point, but I started tumbling. And the second half of the slide wasn't even needed for me because I went over the side of that son of a bitch and just landed out there on the pavement as people watched.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They have that all the time, and the fat women always roll pretty much in a similar fashion.
Yeah, I've made it halfway before I went out of the park. Yeah, that was. I felt that one the next day. Trying to think of other stupid decisions I've made. Sorry, I can't think of them on command. Like, they just randomly pop into my mind. Cozy broke his ass playing basketball one time, or almost did. I wasn't there for that. Yeah, you came in. You were like, you complained about it all night. You said you broke your ass. I don't know if you actually broke your ass or not.
I don't remember this.
It's been a few years ago. Yeah,
I've broken my ass several times. I always every like other year I fall down my stairs and I land right on my ass.
It was like 3 a.m. one night, and I was playing a game. I think I was playing Rainbow Six, and I ran to get a snack. And my mom had cleaned the floors that day, and they weren't like slick from being wet. They were just like, there was nothing on them that was grippy because she had like cleaned them, and I was in socks. And I ran, and I attempted to slow down before my door But it was another deal like the Martinsville dude. Like my feet went to the ceiling, but I didn't go to 90-degree angle. I think I hit on my head first. Like I almost did a flip because I was running so fast. And I woke people up with that thud. I felt that one the next day. I've fallen in the shower a couple of times.
Oh, Jesus.
I took the whole curtain down a couple of times. I was like, I listen to music in the shower, and occasionally I get a little hyped. And I guess I went for the wrong spin move at the wrong time.
Were you dancing to Thriller? Thriller?
Really?
Thriller.
That's like the Indian version of Thriller.
I took the curtain, the rail, my dignity, everything with me there. That was another one. That one could have been dangerous because there's people that die falling in the shower. Did your mom
come in?
Well, I mean, after not while I was naked. This has been like I was in like middle school, man. I was hyped. I was dancing,
trying to get you embarrassed,
shaking, spinning, and physics caught up with me, and I grabbed the curtain trying to catch myself, and I ended up out there on the floor.
It was that day you learned you weren't Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I learned that I do not have a career in the music industry. Don't know me. Which is a shame, because all my dreams started in the shower. Like,
don't they all?
The shower, like I win arguments in the shower, I win fights in the shower, I win political debates in the shower, I win, single-handedly win World Series in the shower, I perform at Coachella in the shower. Like I do anything I want in the shower.
Have you ever sat down in the shower and pretended you were driving the Daytona 500?
I've done it standing up, believe it or not.
Oh, you gotta sit down. You gotta sit down.
The curtain as my window net. I shit you not. Yeah. Well, I think we've covered about everything for tonight.
Been a hell of a show.
Yeah, 47 minutes. We only meant to do 30. Will we be back next Friday?
That just shows how much we missed doing JackBolt.
Yeah. Are we gonna do this again?
I've gotten my fix. I'm really glad that we were able to come together tonight and do this in spite of all of the circumstances and the lack of information. And racing with you guys tonight was a lot of fun. For as much fun as it wasn't, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we made an enemy. Agree. We've got beef with Steve-O 1169 or whatever his name is.
Yeah, like we literally went out and caused shit.
Yeah, we raised hell.
If this all blows over, Rodcar comes back, Stephen M. Turner's not getting in Rodcar.
Oh no, Stephen M. Turner, you can suck a fat donkey dick.
And if you do,
I hope he listens to JackBolt. I hope he does listen to JackBolt.
Well, he might. I mean, I put in a good word or two.
Well, he looked at all my shit. I saw the JackBolt logo on his stream, for Christ's sake.
Subscribed for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I hope he listens.
It's a beautiful thing. It was good being back here with you boys tonight.
Yeah, we'll be back next week, hopefully. It may only be 45 minutes or whatever again, but we'll be back. Because, I mean, as long as alcohol is able to be consumed by those two and me and Cozy are breathing, I'm sure we'll be here. We'll try to get Spencer back in. Maybe some of the old guys will come in. I know some of them have been around on Friday nights, so we can get some of those guys in.
Sweet.
And reminisce on what was Rodcar.
We need to bring in LSR. And
I just thought we could have
would be hell.
JackBolt Court next week. I'm going to get in touch with Cisco. And we can do JackBolt Court. And just, like Zuckerberg and Congress.
Man, you could sell tickets to that shit.
We'll live stream that shit. If we can get Cisco Scars on Makuchi or whatever his name is to come in here. And I like Cisco. Cisco's a cool dude. Get Evan in here. Who else? Rachel. We can get all of them in here. And we can see what went down. We just want to know
what happened to our Friday nights.
Yeah, and I've already talked with Cisco a little bit. But I don't want to speak for him. Now, if he declines to come on here, you bet your ass I'll tell you everything I know. But, yeah, we can get him on here. I guess I'll drive up to Spokane or whatever, and maybe we can search for, I'll hand out flyers, and we can find our leader, get him back on track. and maybe we can have a reunion race or something going on here.
That'd be well worth the effort.
Yeah. I'll book my flight later.
All right, boys.
Well, Scott, as always, you've got the final word. Make it a long one.
I'm currently researching MDF in variable thicknesses. Right now I'm going at 0.125 of an inch all the way up to a full inch. Gonna make me some resonant cabs to defray some of the standing wave frequency issues I'm having in the studio. War Room is coming up.
JackBolt, motherfucker.